Have you ever wondered where your coffee comes from? Well, there's a high chance that it was grown here, in the hills around Coorg. Coorg, or Kodagu as it is officially known, has a long-standing tradition for coffee cultivation. And that's because it is nestled in the lush green Western Ghats and has the perfect topography for it. But while all of that makes for some really good coffee, it also makes it tricky to get around, as you can see from the slush here. Which is why we've come visiting in this, the Mahindra Bolero Neo. Now the Bolero Neo is a proper SUV from Mahindra. It combines all the ruggedness and the robustness that you really typically associate with an authentic SUV with the premiumness and the comfort of a modern car. So you have a proper body-on-frame chassis, one that's shared with the Scorpio and the Thar. You also have the MTT, the mechanically locking differential, and you have this almost 100 bhp diesel engine. You also have really comfortable interior, so these seats are really comfortable, and then you have a touchscreen infotainment system and all the modern technology that you expect from a car in this day and age. So this isn't the first time I'm actually driving the Mahindra Bolero Neo. I drove it at the first drives a couple of months back, but this is the first time I'm actually spending a good amount of time with it. And I think we've come to the perfect place to highlight its abilities. But there is also another reason why we've bought the Bolero Neo to Coorg. It's because the Bolero is actually a very popular SUV here. Why, you ask? Well, the thing is that Coorg has all of these really large coffee estates, and they have trails going inside them, but none of these trails are paved. They are muddy, they're rocky, and in monsoons like we are in right now, thankfully it's not raining, but in the monsoons like we are in right now, these trails are really slushy. So you need something that can tackle the off-road bits. Now, another thing that you need is reliability. This is their livelihood. The people who run these Boleros, they depend on their Boleros for their livelihood. And for that, you need to have something that's reliable, that has stress-free maintenance, and that can keep running for hours and hours without a care. And speaking of people who make their livelihood from coffees and from their Bolero, we are heading to Tanvi and Thimaya's estate. Now Thimaya is Tanvi's father, and he's owned a long list of Mahindras, and of course still uses a Bolero to this day that they bought quite a few decades back. US Thimaya and his daughter Tanvi Gangama have a beautiful coffee estate in Coorg, and their primary workhorse in that estate is the Mahindra Bolero, which they have been using for over a decade now. So we went to their house to find out what makes the Bolero special to them.
I am Thimaya. I stay in Coorg, Mornad. We have a coffee estate. We have a Bolero which is 12 years old. We are very happy with the performance and the practicality of the Bolero.
Hi, I'm Tanvi. I live with my parents here. I help them with the estate. I have been very happy with the Bolero for the past 12 years.
The estate job is done by transporting all the materials, people for work. So it's very practical and economical to maintain a Bolero. It's like part of the family. Every day we use it, every day we see it, literally talk to it, be with it. It's been our companion for 12 years, like our own family member.
Yeah, when you have something for so long, I think it just becomes part of your family.
The Bolero was very easy to maintain, cheap to maintain, very practical, doesn't pinch our pockets at all, except for the diesels and oil change and
Tire
changes. Everything else is great about the Bolero.
I found it easier to take it on these roads since we have terrible roads and we always have had these roads. We find it easier to take it to the town and park it and not be scared of reversing or anything like that as you would do with any other vehicle.
Now that we know where their Bolero is used, we took Tanvi out for a spin in the new Bolero Neo. She got plenty of time to experience the off-road abilities of the Bolero Neo through the narrow, muddy tracks around the estate, and then we headed out onto the tarmac.
I'm really enjoying driving it. I'm really liking it. It's very comfortable. It seems a lot easier in these roads, and we took it on the bad roads in the estate.
Yeah.
and it took pretty well to the roads, I must say. Probably because it has the Scorpio derived chassis.
Yep. So now you've owned the Bolero for 12 years. Now,
Yeah.
does this Bolero Neo remind you in any way of the original Bolero?
Very little, maybe with the size,
Yeah.
but it's also pretty compact.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with the comfort level of this. We go far distances even in our estates,
Yeah.
and it makes quite a difference, no?
Yeah. So Tanvi, what do you feel about the interior of the Bolero Neo?
For me, the highlight would be the seats.
Yeah.
Other than that, even the dashboard, the touchscreen, everything seems very modern. As I mentioned, our original is 12 years old,
Yeah.
so we don't have any of these features in it.
Yep.
So this seems very nice to
Yeah.
drive and hold and feel, and there's a lot of leg room,
Yeah.
and the seats look quite comfortable even at the back.
Yep. What do you feel about the driving experience of the Bolero Neo?
I'm really liking it. I can see everything much more clearly, the visibility wise.
Yep.
I'm liking the feel of the steering.
Yeah.
It seems pretty light. The clutch is quite responsive.
Yeah.
The engine seems pretty refined.
Yeah.
It does not make much noise. It's very smooth. There's no noise in the cabin at all.
Yeah.
I would imagine it would take a lot considering it's an SUV, but it's very easy, just like any other car you would drive, just more comfortable.
Yeah. So Tanvi, does this feel like a proper SUV when you take it on trails?
We went through some of the most treacherous roads in our estate, and the clearance was really good. It did not hit anywhere. The suspension really seemed like it could take all the bumpy roads that we went through. Even the muddy roads of our estate, like you sat through with us, it was quite comfortable.
Yeah.
The seats didn't shake a lot.
Yeah.
I think my dad also found it quite easy to sit in the passenger seat. It gets really slushy and slippery on these roads,
Yeah.
and this car feels like it can take all of it,
Yep.
whatever we put it through,
Yep.
and in great comfort.
Yep. The question that we've been getting asked ever since we first drove the Bolero Neo is this an authentic SUV? And coming down here to Coorg and speaking to long-term Bolero owners and getting their seal of approval is evidence enough of that fact. Now, the Bolero Neo, it draws upon Mahindra's long-standing SUV building legacy. It channels everything that we and these guys here in Coorg love about the Bolero and makes it into a more modern, premium and attractive package. It also elevates that in-cabin experience to something that the aspirational young youth of India will enjoy.